when I read the story, I was very moved by this very personal family story at the center of this sort of larger historical moment for us. The movie's about a man played by Tobey Maguire who is a soldier and goes off to Afghanistan, leaves his family, and they believe that they've lost him, and so during the time that they've lost him, his wife, who I play, falls in love with his brother, and then of course he comes back. I've known Tobey actually since I was 14, so not super well, but we had met when I was 14. He must have been, I don't know, he's like a few years older, and so we had seen each other sort of sporadically over the years, and it was exciting getting to work with someone that I had sort of known, because there's already a certain comfort level and a certain, like, you know what you're getting into. Like, you have sort of expectations of how things are going to go, and he's a great actor and has great discipline and focus in a similar way to his character, actually. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Tommy in the movie, and it was great working with him too. I've also known Jake forever. Jake and I met, I think, when we were 18, and so that was, and he's a very dear friend, so it was really exciting getting to work with him finally, and yeah, he's just really fun and really exploratory. Like, he really loves to think about his characters and get really deep into them. Bailey and Taylor played my daughters in the film, and they were fantastic. They were such good kids and good actresses, and completely different from each other, you know, really individual and wonderful. They both are really genuine girls, and it was really sweet parents, and we had a lot of fun. We would like get together and bake on weekends or have like snowball fights. It was really nice. They were really sweet kids. I think much of the movie is about how you might get branded in a family. I think, you know, you could be like the bad one or the good one, and of course there's no bad one or good one, but at the beginning Tommy's sort of like the bad one in the family, the one that hasn't been really responsible and there, and he's really messed up a lot. He's obviously spent time in jail, and Sam's been like the ultimate son, the really present, responsible one. So they're polar opposites, and of course they sort of cross trajectories during the course of the film. Sam Shepard plays my father-in-law, and he's someone I've admired so long. Days of Heaven is my favorite movie, so I was swooning every time he came to set. And he's so fantastic in the film as well. Well, he definitely sort of puts Sam up on a pedestal and really puts Tommy down all the time. I think he's sort of created this rivalry, or helped create this rivalry between them. The military definitely is a family of its own, and you talk to people a lot who are in the military, and they always say that, you know, when they go back home, it's very hard for them to deal with their home life because they have another family and they have another reality. I mean, obviously that's not everyone, but you do hear that experience quite often. I was such a big fan of Jim's. It was one of the real draws to the movie for me, and he was fantastic. I mean, just such a hands-on, passionate director, and kind, really does everything out of love and out of creativity, and it was really fun. When we were in Santa Fe, we would always go over to each other's houses and do the scenes, and Jim would start acting one of the parts, and you wouldn't know if he was playing your part or if he was playing like another actor's part, and you were just supposed to improvise with him, but you weren't sure like who you were supposed to be playing. It was pretty, like, sometimes he'd play Jake and expect me to play Toby, and like same with those guys. Sometimes he'd play Jake to Jake and ask Jake to play me, you know, and things like that, and he just jumps in and improvises. And it was during the writer's strike, so we couldn't have any real rewrites, so we were just sort of like, anything that didn't feel right, you know, word-wise, we had to sort of figure out ourselves. I did see the film and I absolutely loved it, and the reason I was excited about making this film was because Jim really wanted to make a different film inspired by the same material. I think remaking a film that is really wonderful is never a good idea. And he really made his own film. I think they're two very, very different films, even though they have, you know, a similar plot, but, you know, there are classic stories that, you know, are always told.